Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of my pond build, or rebuild. I've finally managed to get all the old pipework and the old bottom drain out of the bottom. That was a lot of hard work because it was concreted in the whole way along. But I finally got that out with help of a pickaxe. What I'm going to do now is level out the rest of the base down to the level of the bottom of that drain. So that should hopefully give me a depth. I need to get my tape measure out. I think I'm about 140, which to be honest I'm pretty happy with. I know I could go deeper, but it's such hard work trying to get through this that I think I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I don't know if you can see what the ground's like underneath, but it might as well be concrete. It's like a really hard packed clay chalk type stuff that you can only get through with a pickaxe, so even getting down to this depth has been an absolute slog. But yeah, I'll get it leveled out to that depth all the way around, and then I'll start digging in the channel for the new bottom drain. It's gonna be good fun, bloody hard work at least. Another thing I'm going to be doing, after the last videos, a few people recommended putting rebar in, saying the screws that I was putting through might not be strong enough, and I think I'm going to listen to those guys. I've got some rebar coming and I'm gonna put that through, so hopefully it'll be nice and strong once it's all done. Right, so I'm just trying to get the hole for the new bottom drain dug in. I'm beginning to wonder whether it was possibly a bad idea to do it at this time of year. It's just started snowing now today, and this is setting for the day, I think. All good fun. The fish are, well, they're still alive under there. I'm going to check the water temperature in a bit. They certainly can't be very warm under there. Yeah, I think I might be a little bit mad, but I've started now, so gonna have to keep going. Right, I think that'll do for today. I've got the trench dug in for the bottom drain, but it's snowing pretty heavily now. I think it's set in for the rest of the day, so we'll give it a rest there, and hopefully pick it up in a couple of days when all the snow's gone. The dogs are loving it anyway. I'm not sure either of them have actually seen any snow before. Right, so as you can see, all the snow's gone now. We had a bit of rain last night, and along with all the snow melting as well, it's now pretty full of water, so I'm going to have to get that all out before I can finish digging it down. I have dug a little bit more since the last video, and I'm pretty much at the depth I want to be at now. Yeah, just got to get this water out. The pump from my old skimmer that I was using to empty it has given up. I think a combination of leaving it outside in minus degrees and having it pump up too much mud and gravel has killed it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get it all out, other than get a bucket of water and start bailing it. We'll give that a go. And I don't know if you can see there, I'm not sure if I've even talked about it yet, but I'm going to be having a window on the front as well. It's not going to be a huge window, just because I want to keep as much strength in the sleepers as possible. I'll have the full 2 layers underneath it, and I may have the coping across the top as well, just to give it a bit more strength. I'm not totally decided yet, but I'll do a little bit more on that when I get closer to installing it. I have had the glass turn up. It's in my garage at the moment, but yeah, we'll look at that in a bit more detail when we get there. Right now I've got to get it drained down, get it levelled out, and start getting the bottom drain glued up and getting that in. Well, I took one scoop out with a bucket and realised I'll probably be there all day trying to do that. It's actually pretty deep where the drain is. It's probably over 20 centimetres deep in water, so got my old aquarium pump. I'm going to try and wedge a hose pipe on there, chuck that in, at least I can leave that and let it get on with it. It's only a cheap one, so it's probably going to knacker it, but yeah, well, we'll give that a go. So this is the new bottom drain and skimmer that I'm going to have going on the pond. This bottom drain was from JBR Plastics. There's a big air dome on there. So it's got a 4-inch outlet and another 1-inch inlet for the air. And so the air comes straight up through the middle of it. Hopefully I'm going to get that in next week. I'll wait till my liner arrives first. And the skimmer, this was from Absolute Koi. There's sort of a letterbox style opening under the lid. Just an elbow in there. There's a 3-inch outlet on there which will go to the drum, and then there's also an overflow on there as well. Doesn't come with any sort of cage or anything to stop leaves going into the drum, so I'm going to have to possibly make something. I might just put some sort of like filter grid over the hole just to stop anything really big going down there. But yeah, it should be good. It's still got all the plastic on it at the moment, but the throat width on there is, I had that custom made to fit directly over the sleepers, but this was before I decided that I was going to put insulation on the pond, so now that gap is too small. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I'll try and figure something out because I don't really want to have to buy another one because it wasn't very cheap. If I just bought the standard size one, I wouldn't have had a problem. I don't know why I thought I was being clever by having it made shorter, but you live and learn. We'll get it to work somehow. But yeah, hopefully in the next video I'll be installing them and you'll perhaps see how they work a little bit better. Just sort of give you guys a quick update on how the fry and the grow on are getting on. They're all doing alright now since I put the Learn X Pro in. That seems to have cleared up the flukes, and they're growing really well. I'll have to get them out and measure them at some point, but things like this fish here is growing really well. To give you an idea, that kahaku behind it has got to be about 36-37 centimeters now, so that's, yeah, probably 26-27 at least. Yeah, and the new Shiro is doing okay. They're always a little bit spooky when I have the lid off. They don't really do much, but if I give them a little bit of food, hopefully they'll, well, they still don't come up to the surface when I'm in, but there's some sinking food in there. Hopefully they'll get some of that. There they go. Yeah, they're all doing alright. I'm hoping on the fry, when I get them outside, the colours will darken up. I think there's a couple of quite nice fish in there. I'm looking forward to getting them out. The water's definitely got a bit of a yellow tinge to it now, but there's no UV on here, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before I can get some of them in the pond. Right, so that little aquarium pump's nearly finished emptying all that water. It's still a nice sloppy muddy mess in there, so that's going to be fun. Just got to get it sort of levelled out and all the corners cut in as neat as possible, and then it'll be ready for the insulation and the liner. The liner I've only ordered today, so it's still going to be a little while until that comes. I'm probably not going to glue the drain in yet because it's just going to keep filling up with muddy water, so I'll perhaps wait till I've got the liner. But I'll just show you what I'm doing with the rebar to reinforce it. So I've bought this rebar, and what I'm going to do, I've got a big long drill bit there. I'm going to drill a hole through. It's not long enough to do it all in one go, so then I'll have to take the top layer off and then drill through the next layer underneath, and then hopefully be able to whack it through with a big hammer. But my drill's not, even though it's a pretty decent drill, but it's not powerful enough to put that hole through that wet wood. I did have a little test, so I'm going to have to I'm going to borrow a mains power drill, and hopefully that'll do it. Having to cut all these bits of rebar with a hacksaw, which is it's not fun, certainly taking its sweet time, but we will get there in the end. And as you can see, my garden has not got any less muddy. In fact, that's my patio which is now also covered in mud. Oh, it's all good fun, but we'll get there in the end. There's probably not much more I can show you on this video. Hopefully the next one will be a little bit more interesting. Hopefully I'll be banging this rebar in when I've got this more powerful drill, and getting the insulation and the liner and the bottom drain in. So join me hopefully next week, might be the week after, for that.